Hello guys. Welcome to the channel LIS. Today I'm going to explain a 2007 romance and comedy movie named Virgin Territory. Spoilers ahead. The movie starts and we see a man who was painting in a church. He had been working in that church for several days, but he had not gotten money for many days for this work. So he goes to his father asking for money. But then he learns that the father has died due to the plague. He gets sad seeing all this because now he will never get his money. Then he sees his father's dress lying there and now he decides that he will now become a father. Next, we see a boy named Lorenzo who is running away from a man named Gerbino. Lauren somehow escapes by running away from Gerbino. Gerbino tells his men to capture Lorenzo. After this, Lorenzo goes to his friends and they suggest leaving this city so that Gerbino can't find you. Lorenzo agrees to his friends and leaves on horseback. After this, we see a princess named Paminia. Her parents have died during the plague and she was sad because of this. Then comes Gerbino. Paminia has no one in this world anymore, so Gerbino tries to take advantage of Pampinia. He tells Pampinia that what will you do now? Pampinia tells Gerbino that your father had borrowed a lot of money from me. Now after his death, I have the right to all his wealth. He tells Gerbino that you only have this house and if you want to keep this house with you then you have to marry me. Next, we see Lorenzo followed by Gerbino's men. Lorenzo here meets a man who was carrying a dead body. He asks the man about that dead body. Then the man tells him that he was a dumb and deaf man who used to work as a gardener in a nearby church, but today he died suddenly. Hearing this, Lorenzo thinks that if this man is dead, then there must be a need for another man and he could stay in that church by becoming dumb and deaf. Lorenzo then climbs a tree to escape from Gerbino's men. When Gerbino's men leave, he begins to descend from the tree. But the branch breaks and Lorenzo falls to the ground. Now we see that some nun comes there and picks up Lorenzo and takes him to the church. The nun was so lustful that she could not stop herself seeing Lorenzo and started touching him in a dirty way. Lorenzo was also conscious now, but he pretended to be unconscious because he liked it too. Lorenzo, he also has a lot of fun with them. Actually, the nuns used to hire the deaf and dumb so that they couldn't tell anyone what he did to them. Now we see Pampinia, who comes to live in a church to get rid of Gerbino. While two nuns are dressing Pampinia, she asks the nun who the boy is. The nun tells her that he is Lorenzo. He is the gardener here and he looks after a church. After this, we see the king of Russia, Dzerzhinsky, who comes to the palace of Paminia, but Gerbino tells him that Pamina is going to marry him. Hearing this, Dzerzhinsky leaves, but a man outside tells him that Pamina has been waiting for him in another city for several days. Hearing this, Dzerzhinsky leaves for another city. Next, we see Lorenzo, where two nuns come to meet him. Actually, they knew what the rest of the nuns did to Lorenzo and they wanted to do the same thing with him. Lauren agrees to it too and gets intimate with them. Pamina gradually began to like Lorenzo and became attracted to him. One day while working, Lorenzo was singing and Pampinia noticed him and learned that he is not deaf and dumb. One day, Pampinia goes to see Lorenzo and blindfolds him. After that, she lifts her mask and says that she loves him and is ready to marry him. Here Pamping after that, she leaves from there because of the blindfold. He could not recognize her. After a few days, it is time for Pampinia to leave, but before she leaves, she tells him that Lorenzo isn't deaf and dumb. He is perfectly fine. He's just pretending. Pampinia didn't want to see Lorenzo with anyone else. Lauren's head gets very angry hearing this and she throws Lauren out of the church. When Pamina was returning home, she finds Lorenzo outside. He says, "Take me with you too," as Pamina already liked him, so she takes him with her. Next we see Dzerzhinsky, who was looking for Paminia. He sees a girl in a lake and he starts talking to her. He asks the girl, "If you know Pamina, because I am the Prince of Russia and I'm going to marry Pampinia." On hearing this, the girl says that I am the Pampinia. Dzerzhinsky also assumes that it is Pamina, as he had never seen Pamina before. Here, Pampinia reaches home with Lorenzo, and while they talk, Lorenzo tells us that he used to work in the church. He had fallen in love with a girl. He says that the girl kissed him with a blindfold on him and said that she loves him. On hearing this, Pamina understands that Lauren also loves her. Then, Lauren says that she will recognize her anyhow. Now here, Pamina was about to tell him that she was that girl, but suddenly Gerbino arrives. When he sees Lorenzo, he becomes enraged and challenges him to a fight, but Lorenzo is unable to stand in front of him as Gerbino is about to kill Lorenzo. Stops him and tells him that if something happens to Lorenzo, she will never marry him. Gerbino does not kill Lorenzo and locks him in prison. The next day, Pampinia tells Gerbino that she is going to marry him tomorrow, but he has to release Lorenzo. On the other hand, Gerbino agrees and he sends two of his men to bring the church father. When the father comes, Pampinia gives him money and tells him to cancel this marriage. Anyhow, The father says okay. He was the same man who used to do painting work in the church. On the other hand, two of Gerbino's men were going to the forest with Lorenzo. But here their plan was to kill him before they could do anything. Lorenzo beats them and he sees that Jurgenski is going to Pampina. So he follows her too. Gerbino is forcibly married to Pampina. Just then, Jurgenski also comes there and he has a gun. Gerbino's scared of the gun and he runs away. Georgi kills everyone. Pampina tells Jurgenski that she cannot marry him because she is in love with Lorenzo and says that she removes her mask. When Jurgenski sees Pampina's face, he says that you are not the Pampina whom I'm going to marry. Then there comes the girl that Jorge met on the lake. Actually, this girl was Pampina's friend. At the end, Pampina approaches Lorenzo and proposes to him. But Lorenzo tells her that she loves someone else and that he will marry her. Hearing this, Pampina says, "Okay, but you give me a kiss." And Lorenzo kisses her and realizes that Pampina is the girl who kissed her in the church, and the movie ends. I hope you liked the video. This channel is about stories and an explanation of rare and unique movies like science fiction, fantasy, funny, suspense, romantic, and disasters, etc. Here we share explanation videos of Hollywood's latest and old movies. We try our best to narrate the story along with all the interesting clips of the movie in such a way so that you can easily understand the story. The channel movie is intended to help you better understand the movie and save your time from the lengthy or even boring ones. We hope for your love and support. For more Hollywood movie explanations in English, subscribe to our channel LIS and press the bell icon so you don't miss any video.